Welcome, everyone. I'm Galey, and I thank you so much for being here. You've been listening to plant music, which I hope created a vibrational gateway for you to really come into center during this time that is heightened with fear. And hopefully, we are able to maintain a vibration of love in the face of everything. We are here today to talk about the passion matrix, your passion matrix. And this is something that is so unique to you that it's your living creation for our planet and really why you came here. So today we are going to look at your passion matrix. You're actually going to create your passion matrix. We're going to go over an exercise for you to do that. And then I'm going to show you how you can continue to implement this in your life. And if you want coaching, we've got coaching labs available for that. So, first, let's talk about the importance of today's world and you stepping up to your mission. It really is beautiful what's going on in the world if we choose to keep the eye on the opportunities. And what I mean by this is that the gates to new earth are opening. We came to Gaia to create heaven on earth. And we create heaven on earth by being our joy and expressing our passion. So now more than ever, we are anchoring a frequency based in the heart center that allows us to create new earth and create passions from that. Now, everything is heart based. I like to call it, what do I call it? Human diplomacy, but not just human diplomacy, human and all life diplomacy. This is where all structures that were created out of the old paradigm, primarily based in fear, are ready to be recreated from love. That's beautiful. And we're going to learn how to do that. Remember that when you express your passion, you are expressing your love. And so we're going to learn in this course today that we just begin by doing what we love. We just begin by doing it. The money will come later. We are not here to put money in as the driving force. We are to create based on how we can step up and serve by listening to the whispers of our soul, by embodying our I am presence and moving with the divine will. And this is inspiration that comes to us daily when we get quiet. This is actually a requirement of when you put your passion matrix into life in your own world, you will find daily time to go into your higher self consciousness, your higher self awareness, and receive the messages that are being presented to you. It's learning to listen to those messages, to trust those messages. That's beautiful. And it really will lead you into your next phase of work. And I want to say your next phase of work because this is for anyone, no matter where you are on your path. You could be just out of college. You could be treating this as an encore career. No matter where you are in your physical linear timeline, it's the call of your heart that you're stepping up to. And it doesn't matter age or experience. All of your skills and talents are going to come into play when we put together our passion matrix. I love this phrase, and I hope that you take it and put it on your bulletin board or wherever you need it. Passion flow is the new cash flow. Passion flow, passion flow, passion flow. Being in your passion puts you in the flow. And that literally replaces the old 3D paradigm of cash flow. Isn't that beautiful? Now, you may not sense that that's real, but that's okay. Because as you expand your consciousness into what is real by playing money games, that shifts your vibration. We'll talk more about that in a moment. But passion flow, when we really truly begin to express our passion and live from there because we're excited, then you will be in your cash flow. And it's important that we transcend lack consciousness. This means that belief systems are going to fall away after they present to our lives. And so for this, I'd like to have you take a look at your own lack consciousness, your own belief systems that will come up. And it goes deep and there's many layers. So there's no need to go too deep into them at the moment. But this goes to so many different layers, especially when you step out to create your own service or your own business that might come up. So just be aware that part of this process is indeed looking so closely at yourself that you do transcend lack consciousness. All right. So New Earth Creations is begin by doing what we love. By doing what we love. Again, we are not creating for the money of it. We are doing it because we love it. And as we do that, we will be inspired for new creations. So I want to show you a graphic here that explains why your passion matrix is really the foundation of all New Earth creations. So I'm going to turn off my video here. So the passion matrix is the foundation of all things that we create in New Earth. We're going to create our passion matrix in a moment, but I'm going to show you that when we work with the passion matrix, you can see this diagram here, then we cultivate new ideas. So we'll see with our passion matrix that it's going to involve all of our skills, all of our talents, all of our past lives. Very, very interesting, as well as um, other lives, anything, talents, accolades, everything that we know like the back of our hand. We're going to create that in a moment. So get your pad of paper out. Hopefully, this is an unlined piece of paper, unlined paper, maybe printer paper if you don't have a pad of unlined paper. But we're going to begin. You could use the back of a napkin if you had to, because this is the beginning of something that will grow into something much bigger. And we'll talk about that later. But this passion matrix, when you look at it and put it into place, you're going to start to see ideas and you're going to start to weave a new passion matrix that is literally you doing what you love based on your skills and talents. And it's the teachings that we know for New Earth is that we must do what we love. So this is a tool that's going to show you what it is you love. And by looking at this in physical form on a piece of paper, we then start to draw lines of things that we can begin doing. And then inspiration comes on how we can be supported in these services, in these actions of passion. That's pretty cool. Along the way, there will be a little bit of learning curves, but that's all part of this game called life anyway. And we can choose our learning curves when we need to. And then we can always hire out other people along the way. And this is the new jobs that are being created even as we speak in our lifetime, right now in our current situation where many are sheltering at home. And because of this coronavirus, then when we work new jobs, new ways, there's opportunity for new collaboration. And that's beautiful to me when I see that even in the corporate sector, there's going to be a leniency of this old structure or this release of an old corporate belief that if you're not sitting in front of me and I can't see you, if I can't see you, you're not working for me, right? I hope you guys know what I'm talking about. That structure is going away in our current system. And we talk New Earth. New Earth is personal integrity 500%, where you show up based on your skills that you're offering to a project. And those skills are actually your impetus, your driving motivation to get the job done correctly. You're not there to please a boss, and you're not there to busy yourself looking busy when you're really playing solitaire on your computer screen because you need to just take a relaxed break for a moment. So, this is a beautiful world that we're moving into. And as you, no matter where you are, if you want to share in the chat line where you are in your passage here, are you moving into a service that you know? Do you already have an idea of what you want to know? Or are you leaving an old structure and are still a bit new to all of this? Let us know if you will, because that's how this works for all of us, no matter where we are. So, back to the diagram, when we take our passion matrix and we begin to cultivate those ideas, then we come together and start to network with others. We can call it collaboration, but it's much more than that. It's I don't even want to call it networking anymore. It's different than that. It is, we could call it New Earth networking, where it's truly from a heart-based center and it is ego-less. So that's still a place where many of us are working to transcend the ego, but it's getting easier in our communities of New Earth leaders. So as we network with others and get into our communities of New Earth, like minded, like hearted people, this is a beautiful way that the ego does step aside, and the collaborations that come about because egos have stepped aside are beautiful. And what I mean about this is you can literally be one of 100 yoga instructors, or in our audience, one of 100 light language speakers and energy healers, and yet still be so different from that energy healer or the light language speaker next to you. That's how unique your passion matrix is. And this is where New Earth rises above all competition. There is no competition on New Earth because your passion matrix alleviates, eliminates, obliterates competition. There's no one else like you with your skills, with your experience through life, with all of your ideas, with all of your passions. No one is like you. No one's passion matrix is the same. So then after we do our networking, then we might even move along in our business where now we're creating products and services. And you can do these out of order. It doesn't have to be in this order. But this is what is going to evolve from your passion matrix. You will create products and services based in love, based on the heart, based on service, not based on how much money you're going to make from it. The money will be limitless when you open up to taking away the limitations. So, what I mean by that is, in a 3D way, we could say, I'm going to do this because if I teach a yoga class, I can make $20 teaching that yoga class. And if I get 10 people in that yoga class, that's $200. So if I teach 5 yoga classes a week, that's pretty good. I'll take that. We're not doing that anymore. We are not doing that anymore. That vibration is gone. We're flipping it. And so, as we create these products and services based out of heart and service, then we begin by doing, and that's beautiful. Then you may reach a point in your phase, in your service evolution, where something that creates and generates revenue is called crowdfunding. And this is beautiful because crowdfunding has literally launched so many businesses. It's beautiful. And so crowdfunding is an element if you need resources. And then, of course, there's distribution, sales, and marketing. That's really you getting your product out to the world, creating an online business, creating a product, a physical product business, whatever that is, you're getting it out into the world. And this is the evolution. This is not a circle, it is a spiral of evolution. And your living, breathing passion matrix will change over time as you too change over time. When I first started with my passion matrix based on my skills, I was a journalist leaving the journalist industry. And so what did I do? When I did my passion matrix, it literally was all of my skills and talents, like audio production. That's just something I know so personally. At the same time, I did have to have a learning curve, learning how to work with the audio software, but I loved it. And so that was easy. And so when I started out, I saw threads of voiceover work. So when I started out 15 years ago, leaving the corporate industry, that's a whole long story. If you're listening to this program, I believe you heard me on Ariella Indigo's program where I talked about my personal story and journey along the way. And so 15 years ago, when I was done with the corporate world, period, the end, I'm a one soul path number. So there's no way I'm going to work for others. And when I really realized that 15 years ago, I started out in what I knew pretty well was voiceover. And so I set up a website in voiceover, and people came to me, other voiceover talent, saying, let me put my voice on. So I expanded, rose above competition, because you would think that they're competition. When we rise above competition and see other people as collaborators, our ego gets out of the way. We can see how there's opportunity. In this instance, I opened up a voiceover studio agency, and I also expanded to international languages: Arabic, Spanish, Italian, French, German, Russian, Canadian accent English, right? We had different Spanish intonations, different intonations. So it was a global voiceover business that provided for me. But then as my interest changed, this will happen to you as well, and there's nothing wrong with it. We do what we can with our skills. I really had the heart to go and do a radio show. I knew when I left the business in 1994, I knew that I was going to come back to media production in some way. So I just didn't know how or what form. And so then there was a beautiful program called Blog Talk Radio. And I picked up my natural instinct to go interview people, and I put things up on Blog Talk Radio. This is more part of my story that may come through a little bit later. But what I want to share is that then I just started doing Blog Talk Radio shows, not for the money, not for the money, but because I loved it. And I had a curiosity on metaphysics. So I began doing that. So follow your curiosity as well. And in a moment, when we create our passion matrix, we'll have you Look at your areas of curiosity. That's like what you love. Are you curious about scuba diving? Then maybe you can teach scuba diving. And if you're a teacher and you love kids, then something with kids and scuba diving. Anyhow, we'll talk about that in a moment. But your passion matrix will change. So it's a fun way to go forward. All right. So here is what we're going to do right now. I'd like you to pull out your paper because we're going to create your passion matrix. This is something that you can begin doing today, doing what you love. So I'm going to put up an image. All right. So I want you to settle down and I want you to get out your piece of paper. And right now, what we're really going to do is have 4 quadrants, okay? 4 sections. And it's unlined paper. I like to turn mine sideways so it's like landscape. It's 11 inches across, 8.5 inches high. Or if you've got a giant pad, you can buy these things at the office supply store. They're big desktop blotters. Remember the big calendar pads? Well, these are blank, no lines. Beautiful, beautiful ways to keep track. So, whatever size of paper you've got, make the 4 quadrants. And I want you to start writing over in the upper right-hand corner or one of the quadrants, whatever feels right to you, your skills, your skills. Like, what are you really good at? And this is kind of like a linear left brain, kind of a dry, boring thing. But it really is like all of your like your first job. When you went to your first job or one of the jobs early in your career, did you excel at something really well just because you knew it? And maybe you changed the system within the organization or the office place because you just created a system, things like that, right? So one area we're going to do that. You're going to put all your skills and your talents. Then you're going to do your passions over on another quadrant. And I'm going kind of fast here because you're going to come back when you've got more time and you're going to fill these in. What I'd like to do today is do a meditation where we connect into our sacred heart and connect with our higher self to receive the information from other lives that we used, or maybe even in this life that helps us remember. So, in the other quadrant, your passions, this is where it gets really fun and it's right brain. So, just take a moment in your passion corner, in your passion quadrant, and start with anything. It's so simple. What do you like to do? Do you like riding your bike? What do you like to do? Think of 5 things and write these down. Don't judge it. Write these down. And then just let it flow. 5 things. Another way that we can look at passions are hobbies. So please list down any hobbies as passions. Hobbies are your passion. So write those down. And as we work in these quadrants, we're not judging anything because the ego mind could come up and say, well, I like butterflies, but how am I going to make money? Well, we're not doing that right now, right? This is your passion. This is your passion. So expand this out to like ways that you move your body. Are you athletic? Do you like to dance? Put this in your passion quadrant. And I want you guys to get so creative here. I really want you to have so many passions that you get to a point where you're just like, okay, I get this. And you keep writing passions, and it could be anything from I love my plants, right? I love music. I love laughing. We're writing this all down. So expand it on your physical. What do you do physically? And then even like, what do you do for fun? What do you do for fun? Write these all down. Do you like karaoke or other things? What do you like for fun? Try to write these down. And then, as we're in the right brain, because it's fun, 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 try to write down as much as you can. If you're having trouble, sometimes we do experience, we're so numb from our world that we're kind of having trouble tuning into what we love to do as we decompress from the 3D matrix. So don't judge that. Just know that you can come back here anytime. At any time, we can come back to anything of our passion matrix and create, create, create. Add new words. Flip that piece of paper over and start your passion matrix anew. What we're doing is we're just identifying all these areas. Then later we're going to weave. We're going to start to draw the lines and get creative and cultivate ideas. So now I want you to think about what you did when you were 8 years old. Think about what you did when you were 8 years old. Remember that when you were 8 years old, this is when you as a person were still like this untouched, what is it? Untainted. You weren't caring about what society was placing on you, expectations, or, there's a great book, Reviving Ophelia. And that book is all about what girls do when they turn to be about 10, 11, 12, start to go through the change physically, adolescence, and they totally lose their sense of self because they turn off that inner voice. I'm going to cry here. Whew. So, what were you doing when you were 8 years old? Tune into that being, that little girl, that little boy right now, and write down what it was you were doing as that little girl or that little boy. And I don't want you to judge it as well. I want you to, and these are all part of our passions. And we forget our passions because of if we've been beaten up by the 3D world, as so many of us have, that's why I'm on this personal mission. My personal mission and goal was to help people who've been beat up by the 3D world. So here's what we do. What were you doing as that beautiful, confident, exuberant 8-year-old? We played with dolls. We did play sports. We did all of it. So I just want to give you that moment to feel into that child. Okay. And as we sit here for just the next few moments, and you need to, if you get anything else that comes into the other quadrant, the skills, go ahead and put that into, or anything else like for passions, then your childhood joy. And the fourth quadrant, this is where we're going to go into meditation with plant music again. So just take another moment. I'm actually going to turn on some music right now. This music is from a cyclamen, which is a blooming root flower. It's a beautiful flower. It represents unconditional love. And the cyclamen itself is a very sturdy flower. You can go and not water it. The leaves can droop. The flowers can droop. Put a little bit of water on it and it spruces back up and continues to bloom. This is what we are in this beautiful time. So I'm going to let you take a few more minutes on your passion matrix. I'll be here guiding you. And then we're going to move into the meditation. So we're going to spend about another 60 seconds here on these three quadrants, right? You've got your skills and talents in one quadrant. And by the way, take a moment and write down any talents that you have. What awards did you win? In third grade, did you win a blue ribbon? What was that for? Right? All of your talents. Were you in marching band? All of it. You're going to start to see where you're a leader or not, where you're just you're going to start to see your makeup. All right, so you've got your skills and talents in one quadrant, your passions and things that you love in one quadrant, and your childhood joy in another. I can feel some of you writing a lot. Just keep it going. And again, if you're not getting that much, see if the music helps you. What we're doing here as we're writing down, reviewing those three quadrants, before we go into a deeper state where I really want you to relax, and we're going to go into the sacred heart, and you're going to connect with your I am presence. You're already connected with your higher self and I am presence, but we're going to ask to be shown another lifetime. So for right now, just finish up on your writing for your quadrants. This is literally something that's, this is going to show you what you're here to do. It's going to show you how you can begin to take action following what you love. All right. We can always come back to this at any time, but I want you to close your eyes now. Keep your pen in hand. You can peek out of the corner of your eye to see the quadrant that you're going to write in. But I want you to keep your book, your pad, or your paper right underneath your hand. You're going to allow yourself to write in the quadrant. If you feel better changing to a new piece of paper so you can start freely and you're not limited to that little area, bring a new piece of paper for this, and then you can put it on that paper later. So you can get a new piece of paper. You don't have to leave it, consign it to this one quadrant. So now close your eyes. And again, I want you to take a few cleansing breaths. Give yourself the moment to breathe in and exhale, exhale. You're going to do this 2 more times. It's a cleansing breath. It's you, it's yours. You're literally coming into center with these breaths. And one more, take a breath. And exhale with an ah, a verbal ah. And now place your hands on your heart. And in your mind's eye, I want you to come down from wherever your mind is, wherever you feel your thoughts and your attention are, if it's in your body or in your head area or outside your head area, come down, 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 down your central channel into your heart. You are seeing your heart, your sacred heart. And now visualize your most favorite, beautiful setting, your safe, beautiful setting. And there's a door. Up ahead, there's a door. And this is the door or the entranceway. It doesn't have to be a door. This is you. This is your personal journey inward. Go towards that entrance to the temple of your sacred heart. And as you're moving into this temple, just take a moment to see and feel the pure beauty of this temple. This is your sacred temple. And now, within this temple, take a look around. Take a look around the temple. On the walls of this temple are alcoves. Alcoves that contain candles and the names of the I am presence of all the other people you've ever been connected to. We are truly connected to every other person we've ever passed, crossed ways with in the universe through the heart. This sacred temple of the heart gives love to all who have ever crossed our path, whether they've been loving or adversarial. So take a moment, if there's anyone in your life at this moment that needs a special alcove of love with a fresh candle lit, and just place that name in that alcove. I'm actually feeling some emotion coming up, so there's something going on. Maybe you all are putting names in right now. All right, that's a technique that you can come back to in your morning meditation. You can do this with every single family member. You can do this with every person who you feel that you've harmed or who you feel has harmed you. Our sacred temple of the heart is so powerful. And the Ho'oponopono, we're not going into that right now, but if you know the Ho'oponopono, you can use that as well. This alcove of love in the heart literally dismantles the energetic ties and the armor. Oh, again, I'm feeling it. So, someone here, the armor of the heart that we put up because we've been hurt. So, the next phase in this Sacred Heart Temple is to look towards the center of your Sacred Heart Temple. There is a podium, there is an altar podium, and on this is a book. It's your book of life. Walk up to this book of life and see it. Connect with your I am presence. Know that your I am presence is here to show you everything in this now moment for this journey of seeing another lifetime where you were doing what you loved with the skills. Now, some of you may write a lot, some of you may get just one. It doesn't matter. We're not here to get a volume, a number, a quantity. We're here to see a lifetime that has skills for us to bring forward. So ask your higher self to turn to the page to show you the page. See those pages flipping of your golden book of life and see a page open. And as the page opens, let yourself see what is revealed. I'm going quiet now so that you can follow what you see. Don't judge it, let it unfold. If it's nothing for right now, it's nothing. Let it unfold and then begin writing what you see. This is your moment for silence, 3 minutes. Write down everything that you see. What are you doing? Your higher self is showing you right now. You can ask your higher self to give you a word or a mantra or to give you a sense of what it is that you can do with this information. If you wish, you can ask to be shown another lifetime, future, past, or parallel. Ask to be shown images or words or phrases, feelings. Notice if the pages of your book are turning or if you're getting one or two other lives that help you see your talents and skills from other lives. And asking your higher self Higher self, show me, tell me what I need to do here, now. Do you have a message for me? Write what you receive. Okay. Well, come back to maybe this linear awareness and let's take a look at what we've each created. I want you to sit back and take a look at your matrix. So, what we do now is literally weave our passion matrix. And this is where I can share some examples because it's not so easy all the time to see what we can start doing. So, you can start drawing threads between things that you are skilled and talented in and starting to tie that with your passions. And this is where it really gets help to be creative with you all. So, if anyone wants to raise their hand and share their passion matrix or what you got, you don't see the matrix just yet. But if you want to share each of the quadrants, then I'm going to play with you and help you see some ideas. We can all see some ideas. And what's really interesting is in our group sessions, I call them passion labs. We actually are able to there's ideas that one person may not have looking at their own passion matrix in the quadrants, but outside people can see, wow, look at that. You can do this. And so it's really beautiful to see the cultivation of ideas when we put our passion matrix into our lives. So I'm going to turn off actually, do you guys want the music? I think I'm going to leave it. I'm going to turn it down a little bit. And we're going to come in with Oksana here. All right. Hi, Oksana. All right. Would you like to share as an example your passion or what you came up with in each of your quadrants? There, you're unmuted. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes.
Oh, hi.
Hi.
Yeah. So, which one do I start with?
Go ahead and start over with the first one we did, skills and talents.
Kind of like very few in that one because I gotta start more
That feels
concentrating.
really okay. You know what? That does feel really human. It's so linear. It's the linear of all of them. Start with the most recent one we did. What'd you get with your past lives or other lives?
Well, I got a ton actually. I got so many. I didn't write them down, but one was a shaman,
Ah,
one was a witch because I was mixing some kind of potions. One was sailor. One was a I don't know, geisha or something.
yes.
One was a soldier. One was I was carving wood, working with wood. Um, what else? Fisherman, and it's kind of like clothes maker, stitching clothes. And then more, I guess, relevant was something doing with crystals. So that was kind of like, I guess, more, that's what came out again at the end, that like crystal work, crystal forks, or crystal work with crystals.
Uh-huh. So you write those down on your main sheet too. It's just really interesting. Okay. Any messages from your higher self?
Um, I saw like right away, like open wings, like fly, like
Yes.
fly up. That was right away in the beginning. My sacred place was very beautiful. It was a crystal palace, but it had fairies flying in it. It had little bees flying. It had
Uh-huh.
flowers all inside and outside, like growing in the walls. So it was beautiful crystal palace. So I guess it's back to the crystals again.
Uh-huh. There you go. Okay. So then share with us the other quadrants. As a kid, what did you love to do?
Singing, dancing, playing ping pong and badminton, spending time with friends, um, spending time on my own, walking in nature in the mountains,
Mm-hmm.
gardening, growing food, plants.
Uh-huh. And then tell us about your passions. What do you love to do?
Okay, so spend the time with my animals, riding bike, be in nature, be with my crystals, sound therapy like crystal and singing bowls,
Mm-hmm.
mixing oils like facial serums and body oils,
Yeah.
um, energetic body healing work, meditation, learning, dancing, singing, working with plants, listening to music, listening to comedy, hanging out with friends, swimming, um, being in the ocean, snorkeling, scubaing, and cooking.
Yes. Sounds like you have a drawer full of swimsuits.
I do.
I want to play with you. Okay. All right. And then the linear stuff. This is where we have some hard tools that we can
Right.
start to put in. So, what'd you come up with?
So, making oil serums again,
Yep.
dancing, acting, cooking, studying, being persistent in my learning, um, doing oracle cards. I wouldn't say it's a skill, it's more of like a step kind of developing right now. Um, and then like same thing with the forks and tuning forks. I just kind of begin in that. And that's about it. It's very,
All right. So then I don't know if you see it, but other people might see it. Your the crystals and the mixing potions, like your potions as a witch,
right.
and your mixing and your oils and your serums,
Yeah.
and your mixing oils like what you love to do.
Mhm.
So there may be learning curves for you for sound therapy, right? Um,
Mm.
what can you
And
do
I
to
forgot to mention the skill, I guess, the light language. That's new too, but it's relevant.
light language?
Yeah.
Yes. So then there's products that you can create. There's digital products that you can create with light language, right?
Yeah.
Um, then there's services that you can do as well. So what I'm seeing is, wow, like all the fun things of the cooking. There's fun things that you can do in cooking in a new earth way. You've got so many talents that match your passion that you're really already doing it.
Hmm.
So where can you begin to start doing things that you love? I'm thinking your oils and your serums.
Right.
How cool would that be?
Yes, because that's kind of more like I've been doing it for years. So that's something like developed and ready to go versus the light language and tuning stuff or crystal stuff, it's still kind of in the beginning phases. So I'm not confident to go out in the world to share it yet.
Uh-huh. Well, that'll change. We're seeing people really step up now in these current energies as we open the gates to new earth. We have much more clarity on what it is that we're doing. So you may just say, you know what, I'm going to go do this. Um, there, you just begin to create a list of things that you can do, like the serums and the oils and the oracle cards. Are there personal sessions that you can begin doing? Are there fun things that you can begin doing? Um, like media production things that you can begin doing, that you get creative and start making, like doing a YouTube channel or whatever it feels in alignment with you and that passion and what you can offer. You'll start to see that you can do these things. Um, and so putting one foot in front of the other, just begin by doing. So if you look at yourself, what would you like to do? What would you say that you would be doing or can begin doing that you love?
I would say playing more with the learning the crystals, tuning and everything, crystal sounds, and being more persistent in actually developing the light language skills. I mean, I do it daily, maybe not so rarely. So it actually opens up more.
Okay. All right. So that looks to be like an evolving thing for you as it continues and grows. But is there anything right now that you can do to be of
The oil.
service?
Yeah, oil, of course.
Yeah.
Mm. I
Those are
can.
things to keep an eye out for as well. Like in my mind, I did, like in my own matrix, I wanted to have that radio show and to bring in, well, no, not to bring in income, but at the first phase, it was like the income phase of just doing what I knew. And I loved it. I did love voiceover work. And it was more of a linear thing at first, but it did support me as I grew and evolved. So there's a way that you can begin doing what you love right now with your skills and talents, still doing what you love and expanding those skills and talents. Like you could do oils with crystals in them.
Right. Well, I charge them on the crystal mats, you know, the White Zap mats, the crystal mats. So I charge them on those mats.
Oh, the crystal mats. Yes, very cool. Very
Vibration,
good.
raising the vibration. Mhm.
Mm-hmm. So this is it. Just use this and come back to it and start creating from there and watch it evolve. It will evolve.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thread them together. You know, there might be something that we do that you do out in nature. Um, Sometimes they never get tied in with things, but when you make time for nature in your regular day, that puts you in the flow.
Right.
So that's really good. I love that. And being on your bike and playing in the ocean and the curiosity that you have for the crystals, follow that and go for that.
Well, that comes from Lemuria, the being the crystal priestess. So that's
Hmm.
way back.
I also think Atlantis too.
That too,
Hmm.
yeah. Yeah.
And so there's so many things like, the plant music now. There's machines that you can buy, right? You
Mhm.
can do that. So this is your own passion matrix. So there it is. It sounds like you're already there doing it in a way. So what's your day job? So like, did you just leave your day job?
Yeah, yeah, I did. So right now I'm just finishing up, but I'm not. I just had to finish the project. But other than that, I don't. I'm just applying for replacement jobs in the process. So.
So do you want to go work for someone else or do you want to do something that can get you started?
I think I would rather do both at the same time because just to get established,
Mm-hmm.
only because
Yes.
it's not. reliable in the beginning. I know it's since it's just a hobby, you know, it's going to be a long process before it turns into something stable.
That's a belief system.
Okay.
um,
I see.
I just want to share Lisa Transcendence Brown on Facebook.
Mhm.
She heard the instruction from her higher self to just begin posting. And she doesn't leave her page, but she begins posting. And at one time, she had 4 million people listening or, following her or talking about her, I guess is the phrase. And my point in bringing that up is that there's really powerful tools out there that really do remove the limitation of things taking some time to build.
Mm.
Is there a reality that it takes time to build? It's as fast as we do it. Um, so your bridge, you're feeling the sense to create it as a bridge. I love that. It's a bridge, right? And so if you need to do that and you feel that inner gut sense to go and work a job over here, as long as you're doing that job and spreading love,
Mm.
that could be your role in this moment.
Yeah, that's why I'm having a hard time to find something that's resonates as opposed to just to get any kind of job that pays well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And so um, I just love all the things that you do in nature. So I encourage you to think of things that you could do that assist. I don't see children or teaching anywhere on here, so I wouldn't tell you to go teach. But when I see that coming up,
I love children, but I mean, I don't have any, so and I used
yeah,
to.
that doesn't mean that you don't love children.
Yeah,
Do you
I
know what I
know, but I'm
mean?
just saying that I
Um,
don't have enough energy to work with. So that's why I said I'm not.
right,
It's not on my
right.
list. Have it.
Yes,
It's
it's not
not
your
in my vicinity.
in other people they love in other passion matrices that come up they love it. So in that case we'd be like, so here's an example. There's this so she works with Noah. She's like involved in environmental protection, and she's a scuba diver, and she does love teaching. So one of the things that this gal did was to begin teaching after school programs for kids.
Mm.
So this is where I say get creative no matter what. Um, this doesn't apply to you, but it could be applying to others, because creating after school programs, there's so many things where parents would love for their kids to do something fun that's not related to sitting in a classroom. So
Funny you
there's
mentioned
really
that.
fun like science programs or after school programs. And she created something where they learned about the ocean. This was a bunch of eighth graders, and that was fun for her. And then
Mm.
she changed and moved on to something else as it opened up. But these are things that we can do that maybe seem like a silly idea or out of left field, but that's really when your higher self is talking to you. So,
Well, I was just saying, funny you mentioned that because, like this past summer, I was thinking, like, in the terms of like a school, but not a conventional school, but like a 5D school for like gifted children or like for, you know, awakened children or, you know, simply
yes,
working with
yes, yes,
teaching and
yes.
meditation and crystals and energies and all that stuff. So,
Girl, I want you to write that down. I want you to write that down. I want you to put a date on it. Put today's date.
okay.
Absolutely. We, as I said at the beginning, we are opening the gates to new earth. And there is new opportunity for things just like that. When we get through this global situation, everything is up for grabs to be rebuilt in a heart-based way. So if it's a school, if it's a program that goes to schools, if it just starts in your local community and then it expands outward, that's where I want you to be thinking and get creative. And so this passion matrix, we can see how that kind of just that's interesting. You've already thought of it.
Yeah.
So um It's just part of it. And right now it's still evolving and breathing, and you'll start to see when you sit and work with this. I suggest everyone sit, I say every morning, which is the most important time of all, and sit with this. And you don't have to sit and go through all quadrants every morning, because you've already, once you write the linear left brain quadrant of what you're good at, skills and talents, then you don't need that anymore. But you're going to, the things that you love and your passions, that may change, and your past life remembrances may change too. And so then you'll start to draw, you'll move away from your passion matrix, and you'll start to draw, you'll flip the page on that pad and just write down, oh my gosh, I've got all these things that I can do. Here's what I can offer. Then that translates into lots of ideas on how you can begin taking steps. So it's pretty beautiful. And I recommend you guys also take out your calendar and mark, you can mark today's date and then mark the next 6 weeks. The next 6 weeks will allow you to look at where you've come in the last 6 weeks. I've actually got a program where it's a coaching program. It's starting on April 3rd, and it's going to meet weekly. There's weekly videos, and there's 3 passion labs, and then there's office hours each week to assist as well. If you need that, that's something that I can tell you about in a moment. But you can do this on your own as well, and allow it to breathe, and allow yourself just to journal the instruction. So the higher self connection every morning is really key. I don't think I have to tell anyone on this call or remind anyone on this call how important it is. But if you give yourself that time and connect with your higher self every day, the message becomes more and more clear. And I want to share, just recently in the past week, since everything has changed so drastically, I heard my higher self say something that I was like, really? You want me to go do that? And it's like, yep, go do it. And it's something my husband and I do together in our local community. We are bringing in digital thermometers, non contact thermometers, so that the school, for the schools, that's something that my husband knows how to do so well. He has factories that he's connected with, and so he was able to do that. And then we actually made some calls and put these things in our local schools, so that when the schools open up again, they'll feel better taking a temperature, so that if someone has a temperature, then, a fever, then they're not allowed at school, or they're going to be given a care package and told to go home. And that was really weird. I'm like thinking, really, I am not doing this, but I'm supposed to work on that. And we did, and we got it up, and it worked really fast. So listen to these nudges. Again, the nudges from, here's another technique. I learned this from Gene Ang, and he learned it from Rudolf Steiner. And this is to, when you wake up every day, go ahead and mentally go over, before you get out of bed, what your plans are for that day, what's lined up for that day. And then at the end of every day, you look back at the review for the day, and you're looking not for things that you didn't do, but you're looking for things that were a surprise, inspiration that was out of the blue, or surprise meetings, or different things that came along your path that were unexpected. This is literally your higher self trying to show you, communicate with you, giving you insight on what you can do, like that person that you just met. This can also come across as synchronicities. So really good to use that practice daily to look back at your day and see where it is. Then you're going to get so used to seeing that when it happens instantaneously, you'll have a smile on your face, when what seems like a disruption was actually a shifting and a redirection from your higher self. So cool. All right. Well, thank you, Oksana. Thank you. Do you want to share anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay, girl. Thank you. Good
Thank
luck
you.
with that. That's cool. Let me know how that goes. All right. Perfect for you. Perfect. All right. Cool. All right, everyone. Well, if you wish to share your passion matrix, you can put this in over our chat line, or you can raise your hand and you can share it. But I think everyone has a good idea what it is that we're trying to do here. And what I want to reiterate is that it may not make sense to you, but it works. Here's another example. My friend Dolphins, loves putting people together. She is an 8 on her soul path, and she has an abundance of people. This woman literally knows everyone in the spiritual community in California. Everyone knows her. She works with the indigenous tribes. She works with the leaders of the indigenous tribes, oftentimes counseling them. And so dolphins is what she loves. She had a belief system that she couldn't charge for money, so that belief system left her in place for a while, left her kind of stuck. And then but she kept going with her passion. So what she did was starting dolphin boat tours. She went down to the Laguna Hills, Dana Point Marina and rented the boat and invited all her friends. She's got a huge following. She's connected on Facebook, but she has huge connections with her abundance of people. She would sell out these dolphin boats every time. And so I would chat with her and say, "You do so much work. Where's your, in the business world, we take a margin where you have a product and you sell it. The cost for you to make that product, say a bottle of oil, there's cost of goods that go into making that product, including your time. And if you're a wholesale distributor, for example, you're going to buy the product at wholesale, but you're going to take a margin. Usually that's 33% or 30%, right? 30% margin. Some stores are like, they call it Keystone. Well, they'll take the price, $5, and they'll keystone it. They'll double it. They'll make it $10, and that's a 50% margin for them. So for her, the dolphin boats, she wasn't doing anything for herself. There's other light workers that I come across that don't include a margin for themselves. Why you want a margin is because, for one, you're creating a product, and when you go to sell your product at retail, you may need to come into a wholesale price for distributors. If you need distributors that will sell that product for you, you want to offer a margin or a price for that distributor to make money. So that's if you're selling a product. In this case, with the dolphin boat tour, she didn't see how she could do that. But then, because she had everybody go pay the boat, show up here at the boat dock, go inside and pay the boat people. So that each person would go in and pay the boat person $11 or 14 or whatever it was, but there was nothing for her. So what she did, she made one small tweak where it was a beautiful event. There was a ceremony involved. There was ritual with the drumming. She brought in a guy that brought in music and then the drums and instruments for them to use. So when they went out on the boat, it was a community connection. It was the drumming, and then everyone would go pass the mic around. See, she had audio equipment. They'd pass the mic around and give their group intention or their intention for the group, a word or something. And then that went out over the water, and the dolphins literally carried it and made everyone very happy and joyous. And so, because of that, then she started charging $22. And instead of having people go inside to the boat dock, she collected the $22 and then she paid the boat company. And she was able to make a 50% margin for herself. So that's a way that you can start doing what you love to do. Another example I want to give is what I hear a lot from light workers is nature, 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 being alone, singing, dancing, meditating, nature, nature. Um, you can go out with today's cameras, and if you love photography, then go hike and get yourself out into some remote nature places. Take video, get a tripod and take video, time-lapse video, slow motion video, and then take that video and load it up, get yourself loaded up on all of these stock video companies like Pond 5 or Shutterstock. Or you can go Google stock video websites, and every one of those websites that sell stock video, they need your stock video. And you can literally, again, this is nothing that's going to, get you rich overnight, but this is ways that you can create revenue streams based on your work and getting. Can you imagine when you get your images of our beautiful planet out for people who are making documentaries? There are, you can make a documentary today without your own video camera. You can literally go buy stock footage. You can charge $70 for your clip, or you could charge $15 for your clip. If you charge $15 for your clip, more people will use it. And that just brings you revenue, not a bunch at $15, but these are little revenue pots that actually give you income, supplemental income. So I encourage everyone to think of these types of ideas on things that you can begin doing today that you love, and the ways that you are inspired to create your revenue stream will follow later, right? The girl with the dolphin boat, she just started doing it. And then she was like, wow, I can just do this. So begin doing. That puts you in the flow, that puts you in the passion flow, and that will become your cash flow. So, everyone, I really hope that you put your passion flow your passion matrix into action. I want to share with you a way that you can do this. If you are interested, I am not interested in selling you anything. I'm not interested. It's a service. If you like, I've got it right here. Um, if you need support and you need assistance, this is here for you. Can you imagine in 6 weeks, if you take a 6-week challenge, this is starting on April 6th, in 6 weeks, where you would be with information? Here's what we're going to cover. It's fifth dimensional training, and it's implementing your passion. We have 6 weekly videos that will jumpstart your action plan. These are motivational. These are everything from how to overcome belief systems, how to identify and bust out belief systems, how to go take on learning curves, how to set up or look on online businesses. We also have passion labs, which are Zoom meetings like this, where we literally share your passion matrix, and all of us as a group share ideas for you and your passion matrix. That's really, really powerful. I also, for your personal support, each week am offering office hours. I set up my Zoom, you come in, it's like a personal session to support you. That is beautiful because you can ask any question and get any help that you like. So this is creating your passion matrix. It's actually, I've got a couple of bundles here because some people might not need everything. If you just need media production, because you already know what it is, that's a powerful tool for you. Media production, that's wrong. That's 97. It's not 197. But this full bundle with the coaching labs and the media production course, plus the Passion Matrix home study course, and all of the 6 weekly videos, the Passion Labs, and office hours. Normally, this is $555. It's going to roll out to my entire community on Monday, actually April 3rd, next Friday. It's going to be $333 for my community, but you guys are part of Ariel Indigo's. We were doing our support, our what's it, the Sacred Calling workshop, and you guys are exclusive to this special price because you guys already get it. You've heard my story, and you are interested in your own sacred calling. So I feel like you're already part of this community. So 244 until April 3rd, and then it's going to be 333. So you can choose if you want that. If you don't need the weekly videos or you don't need the passion labs and the office hours, you can just get the Passion Matrix Home Study Course bundle. This is meditations that take you into what we did today. It also includes plant music meditation, a whole bundle for your creativity. And it includes an enlightened entrepreneur quick start guide and some videos that allow you to set up an online business. This will show you how you set up a shopping cart, an autoresponder, your online business. This is based on the training that I received, and we spent $10,000 on the training on autoresponders and e-commerce and online business. Plus, we spent 30,000 consulting with the experts that teach us how to make our own business, including Michael Gerber and Eric Lofholm. And so this is a way for you guys to, if you want to work with me, I will work with you. And you can get this done, and I will help you and guide you and keep you on an action plan. So, on the page that you're viewing this program on, or I will actually put this link in the chat box. If you are interested, here is the link to the special offer. We are starting on Monday, April 6th. You're going to get weekly videos. And then the Passion Labs are going to be at various times for our global community. So I encourage you to check that out and join us, because can you imagine in 6 weeks, if you know what you will learn from this class, how will that change your life? How will that get you on your mission, on your purpose, feeling confident? I think that's beautiful. The knowledge that supports you along your path, it's really not just 6 weeks, but it's a whole year. Can you imagine in 1 year where you will be? That's powerful. And this is how we create new earth. We create new earth with our heart energy and by doing what we love. And so I know that may be questionable for some people, especially as we leave the old matrix, but it's all here for us. And I thank you so much for creating your passion matrix. Please use your passion matrix and let it evolve with you. And, let us know how you are getting along. And if you get stuck anywhere, we're here to help you. But let us know how this actually comes about in your life. And I thank you all for being here. And I thank you for stepping up to your new earth role. So as we say goodbye today, I invite you to share in the chat line. I'll leave this open as we have some music, but I hope you guys feel empowered. And I do want you to reach out for me. If you've got any questions on what we learned today, then let me know. I'd love to assist you. We are building new earth, and we are all doing this together. It's just an amazing time, and we stay in faith, not fear. So thank you, everyone. Blessings.